आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ।
Hello, listeners. You're listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast program on STEM popularization, catalyzed and supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, through its National Council for Science and Technology Communication and Media for Community Foundation. Project devised and designed by Dr. R. Sridhar and assisted by Ashish Tiwari. Local coordination and production, Professor Subramanian. Content writing by Professor Mansa Gowda and post-production by Professor Kaushik P. Kanchan of Garden City University, Bengaluru.
Garden City University, conquer we shall all adversity. GCU, emphasis on life. GCU, emphasis on life.
In the last episode, you saw how he showcased his concern on how he thinks India is far behind other countries in areas of research. And in this episode, Dr. Wanghmare then shared his thoughts about what changes can be made to the academic curriculum and way of teaching to help students get in tune with what they want.
So one important thing I feel is a student should be given enough time and opportunity to find out what that student is passionate about. Okay, whether it's arts or whether it's science or engineering or medicine. A student has to identify what is most exciting to his or her mind. That's one very important thing, and that needs time. That needs many times failures. One may choose to do something and fail, maybe wants to try something else. So that flexibility and space and time that is must be given to a student. And the role of a teacher is very important in that, because if the pressure from a teacher or parents reduces, that look, you have to get this much score in this exam or get into IIT or somewhere, I think that will help a lot. One. Two is students should be taught to be open to learn new things. And those things may not be likable in the initial stage. For example, many students in India have a sort of fear of chemistry or fear of mathematics. And the idea is to let them evolve in a natural way to get familiar with it. And elimination of that, I won't call the word fear, but also sort of antipathy, that I don't want to do that type of things. That we need to remove, because any interdisciplinary work requires you to be outside your comfort zone. One should be able to work outside the comfort zone and not only in the areas that I'm very good in math, so I will only stick to this.
He then shared his experiences of working in a startup and what used to be his role in the company.
Actually, now I'm not with that company anymore, because my work, as I told you, is purely theoretical. So at this stage, the company is more focused on deploying the solution on the ground. But I can tell you what I'm involved in, and this is actually in a defense lab. I'm involved as an advisor to a group, and the idea is this. If you take Breathe as a company example, if the work starts in a laboratory, we develop a alloy or a catalyst which can do this chemical reaction efficiently, and then you would like to scale up the production of the catalyst and also the reaction operations, and then bring it to the actual ground. It takes a long time, about 20 years in fact. In most technologies, from the invention to the deployment on the ground is a long process. How to accelerate it is a very important thing. It saves cost, it saves time, and also basically it's energy efficient. So to do this, there is an approach in material science, it's called integrated computational material science approach, where we use AI ML, the machine learning ideas, to sort of complement experimental theory and speed up this process of development of a technology, starting from a prototype.
Apart from his professional life and research, Dr. Wanghmare spoke about an unforgettable moment in his life.
Well, this relates to, I think, what I consider as the most exciting work from my group. So This was a discussion I was having with my PhD student. Her name is Bhuvaneshwari. She is an electrical engineer from Shastra University, and we are working on a very interesting problem of two membranes of a material which can slide with respect to each other. And during this discussion, we realized that electrons in such a material have quantum geometric properties which can be tuned by such sliding. Okay, so and this was not an entirely new idea. But then together we thought of a new experimental technique called spectroscopic technique. It's almost like a new Raman effect. Raman effect is basically using light to sense vibrations in a crystal. In this effect, we can use electrical circuit to listen to the vibrations of a membrane. And that was, I think, an unforgettable moment because we felt we have really discovered or predicted something entirely new, which is out of the box, and it had very fundamental physics, quantum physics in that.
Dr. Wanghmare then said about who inspired him to become who he is and to carry on with his research.
Actually, the most important thing is my parents, both of them were teachers, and they gave me absolute freedom. For example, I had options to be a doctor, medical college in Bombay. I could have been an engineer, but I chose to do physics type of a undergraduate degree, and they had absolutely no objection. So I think getting that type of freedom was very crucial in my career, and that is something I always give to my students. I give it to my daughter or anyone else I see around.
Dr. Wanghmare also shared some words of wisdom for our generation and what can help us to achieve what we want.
Yeah, there are two messages I will give. One is to be very courageous and bold in thinking of new ideas or new directions, new areas to work in. And second is there is no alternative to hard work. Nothing can be achieved if one doesn't work hard. So these two are the main messages I wish to give to our young generation.
You were listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz, a podcast on STEM popularization, catalyzed and supported by National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. Tune in for more such episodes to Vigyan Ki Awaaz on this platform and also through Spotify, YouTube and Apple Music platforms.
आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही